welcome, ladies and gentlemen. For all the viewers in Europe, you are witnessing the International Judo Tournament for Army and Police. It's a traditional event near Moscow in Zvenigorod in the brand new sports hall Judo Academy, opened by President Putin last year. My name is Hans van Essen, and I'll guide you through this show. It is mainly a show, but of course you will see some really good judo this afternoon. But we'll start with the opening ceremony. Enjoy and join us later on with the good fights, team fights. It's a team competition between the police of Belarus and Azerbaijan tax services. That's the match what we're gonna follow, and on the other tatami it is the prosecutor's office against the Russian internal forces. Later on, followed by the final. Let's join this opening ceremony. Enjoy the show. congratulations to the organizers of the International Judo Tournament for Army and Police. Yes, we are looking for judo, but it's an unbelievable show here. And this event, we may think, why is this event? It's held here in the Judo Academy, new sports hall in Zvenigorod, 60 kilometers away from Moscow. But it's actually events between the international forces for both police and army. From various nations. And also support is given to all the widows and the families of all the law enforcement officers who lost their lives in duty. It's organized by the European Judo Union in cooperation with the Dynamo Society, the International Judo Fund and the National Veteran Judo Union, which means that all the judoka in action are at least 30 years. Nonetheless, it's very good quality, and the first match that we are going to see is a former Olympian, so you can expect something more. Of course, the Russian Judo Federation is also involved in the organization, and I bet there will be very good teams from Russia. And I know, of course, because they're in the final, the police of Russia. They are the title defenders. First, we're going to see more show. Welcome again at the great show at the International Judo Tournament for Army and Police. It is dedicated to the ones who were deceased during their duty.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, на сцену приглашается президент Национального союза ветеранов дзюдо России Бальский Павел Григорьевич.
It is a little bit unconventional tournament, and it's of course a big, wide public response. This event held in Zvenigorod, near Moscow, 60 kilometers away. We're starting with the official opening ceremony, also attended by the final judoka of the teams. 4 teams will get the medals, so we're gonna see 6 teams on the tatami, and one of them is the defending title of the Police of Russia. They won last year. the opening ceremony of Mr. Pavel Balski. He is the president of the National Veterans Judo Union. And as mentioned before, all the judoka are 30 years or more. But extremely fit, I can tell you. We're going to see some really good judokas from the region. Although, what is in the region? In the final, the police of Japan against the police of Russia. Yeah, it started a bit unconventional maybe, this tournament, 7 years ago. 2007. As an initiative of the International Judo Fund and the National Veteran Judo Union. There it was held in Moscow for the first time, among the law and enforcement of the Russian Federation, and all in memory of all the officers killed in the line of duty. We've seen some memorandums of respect.
We saw photos of dead officers, not only from Russian Federation, but also from the countries participating in this tournament.
And also financial support is given for the widows, those during their duties. But compared to 7 years ago in Moscow, this is completely changed into an unbelievable show. And also it is a meeting point. In that case, 1 year old. It's opened by President Putin at 8th of May last year. And as we may know, President Putin is also honorable president of the European Judo Union. And himself is a 6'10" judoka.
And we think that our civil and human duty is to remember of these people and support their families.
In total, to give you some numbers, yesterday I spoke to the head organizer, Vladimir Gazizov. He's himself a colonel in the police, but responsible for the organization, not only of this event, but also for the Grand Slam in Moscow. It's held in the same event, also in Zvenigorod. In total, 16 countries participate in this event, 23 teams. And of course the teams consist of 5 weight categories, the usual ones, which you will see later on at the European Championships as well. And it's becoming more popular and more intense, these team events, because it's we hope that it will be an Olympic event in Rio. And then everything gets another perspective in these team events. But judo is a very important matter in all these ministries, and that is what they have in common, because they all do judo, not only army and police, but also other ministries. And they would like to make judo a really obliged topic and to integrate it in their structures. So it's really important for the development of judo, and therefore the head of defense ministry, he had a conference with other ministries about this integration of judo, and it's of course very good. As mentioned, financial support is also provided to the widows and the families of the deceased, and one of the support items is cars, and here are the keys for a car. I don't know what car, but at least it is support for whatever it is worth. Of course it is nice, but we are here for the families and to memorize them. That is the topic of this event. To pay attention for this. And all in the environment of good judo, many VIPs, also of big interest to improve the development of judo in all ministries. And it's not only in Russia, of course. Also other nations, I mentioned 16 nations. So please allow me to tell you something about the tournament so far, because we are going to see 2 bronze medal fights. We focus on one, there are at the same time, and of course the final for the gold. But we've seen teams from the Ukraine, of course Russia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Romania, Hungary, Lithuania, Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan, Germany, Austria. Austrians were 3rd last year. Even the British Police Army, and then the police of Tajikistan and Japan. And the police of Japan made it to the final against the police of Russia. More awards, more attention, and more car keys are provided. A great supporter, obviously. But it's much broader than just the support for the families. Integration of judo, and we've seen that more often. Last year I visited the EGU seminar, one of the seminars for social integration. Obviously judo is as an important platform for reintegration, to integrate people like youth who are having troubles to getting jobs. It's a lot about respect within the schools, and to reintegrate people who are currently in prison back into society. But we are all passionate about judo, and we know it. In a way, it's a rather sad occasion. We can see it, but emotional. It's also a matter of respect. Good to see that it's all wrapped into judo. Yesterday I was speaking to Vladimir Gazizov. I mentioned it before, and he said, well, if you trying to be an investigator, it takes you 3 years. But if you want to be a good judoka, it takes you at least 5 years. And yeah, that's the truth. Of course, it should be in your blood. Videos of people who deceased in the tour of duty. And on the stage, Pavel Balsky is the president of the National Veterans Judo Union. The European Judo Union, they do a lot for the veterans. And soon in May, we will have the European Veteran Championships, this time held in Paris. So really central, and you can still participate in Paris. They expect about 1,000 veterans to be part of the European Championships. That's a lot. Last year it was held in Poland, in Opole. Also a big success. The year before that in Leibniz in Austria. Many people came there. but there are of course many events that the EGU organizes, not just for veterans. In this moment actually, the cadets and the juniors are fighting in Tver for the cadets, Tver in Russia, many strong Russian cadets. And in the category under 23, under 21, in that age category, we'll have the juniors fighting in Thessaloniki in Greece. You can see the results later on the website, and of course you can follow it live. If you tune into edu.net, you can find the live results of both Tver in Russia and Greece, Thessaloniki. On the stage now, the president of the Russian Judo Federation, Mr. Vasily Anisimov. We'll see him later on when the medal ceremony takes place for the teams. Three Russian teams we can see. At least they fight for the medals. The prosecutor's office, they will fight the 5 judoka of the Russian internal forces. They seem to be favored, if I watch the names. And in the final we have the police of Russia. They also have a strong team. In the other bronze medal final, the police of Belarus against the Azerbaijan tax service. I think, okay, what can I expect there? But they have some really strong judoka. And what I mentioned before, it would be of course great if judo would be really obligatory in each preparation for each policeman or army officer. As mentioned, it's not just police and army, it's also tax officers, prosecutors, lawyers, security from 16 nations in total. DGU is having a lot of events in this time of the year. Also there was the OTC Olympic Training Center, going for gold. That's the motto. Last day today in Tata in Hungary. So 4 events this weekend. And of course we're looking forward to the European Senior Championships to be held this year in Budapest. Strong teams. Also the team competition on Sunday will be interesting. What I mentioned before, if it's really going to be an Olympics event, that will be great for judo in total. To have 16 medals in total, also 2 for the teams included, men and women. Yeah, imagine that your father died in the line of duty. Heroes. A warm handshake, financial support and an award, but you'd rather have him on the table at dinner. It's the hard truth, we all know. It is a risk. but it's good to see it in an environment with judo and veterans. This combination can be seen today. International Judo Tournament for Army and Police. We continue with the bronze medal fights in a couple of moments. Follow us.
Дорогие друзья, участники соревнований, динамовцы России благодарны Союзу ветеранов дзюдо, которые смогли организовать такой замечательный, прекрасный турнир с привлечением всех заинтересованных министерств и ведомств и показать ту важную социальную роль, которую выполняет движение дзюдо. Мы активно работаем с Советом ветеранов дзюдо, с Федерацией динамовском движении. В целом, 57
We're looking at the General Army of the Dynamo Club,
124 секции,
and of course he's grateful for the opportunity to have this event here in Zvenigorod,
это все динамовцы.
and he thanks the veteran Judo Union
7200
to organize this.
динамовцев, которые занимаются дзюдо. Мы вам всем
We've seen already Mr. Pavel Balsky, he's the president of the National Veterans Judo Union.
пожелать успехов в проведении таких замечательных
The
мероприятий.
organization was in the good hands of Vladimir Gazizov, one of the VTU veteran members.
Dear friends, dear participants, this Dinamo is really appreciated to the Veteran Union of Judo, and we are grateful for organization of this great sport event, and we see very important social role of our Dinamo society. We very active work with veteran movement and the Judo Federation of Russia, and develop this judo sport in 57 regions of Russian Federation. Thank you very much. Good luck, good success, and for all the sportsmen, best wishes and victories.
Last year the event was also attended by Mr. Marius Wieser, IGF president. One of the people, of course, for the awarding ceremony. Good to have him here, but he's used to this hall, and also the Grand Slam of Moscow is held here. They call it the Grand Slam of Moscow, but it's held in Zvenigorod, 60 kilometers away. Now a show of the Dynamo Club, existing for 90 years. It's the club of the army. Enjoy the show. warm applause for them. They all had a tail, and it looked like a fairy tale for me. But that's another story. Nice show here in Zvenigorod.
Для торжественной церемонии открытия международного турнира дзюдо среди полиции и армии на сцену приглашаются председатель Политического совета общества «Динамо», заместитель секретаря Совета безопасности Российской Федерации, генерал армии Гургалиев Рашид Гумарович.
For the opening ceremony of the International Judo Tournament, we invite the German Deputy of Federal Security Council, Chairman of the National Society of Barcelona, Mr. Bulgaria.
Президент компании «Полный Департамент», президент Федерации Judo России Анисимов Василий Васильевич.
The President of Company Called Development, the President of Russian Judo Federation, Mr. Vasily Anisimov.
Президент Национального союза ветеранов дзюдо России Василий Павел Григорьевич.
The President of National Judo Veteran Union, Mr. Pavel Vatsky.
Президент Европейского союза дзюдо Соловейчик Сергей Игоревич.
And the President of European Judo Union, Mr. Sergei Soloveychik.
Приветственное слово от президента Российской Федерации Владимира Владимировича Путина зачитывает Гургалиев Рашид Гумарович.
And the great word from the President of Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin, will be read by Rashid Nurgaliev.
Уважаемые друзья,
Some words of the Judo Russian Federation President.
на традиционном турнире по дзюдо среди полиции и армии.
Dear friends, I would like to greet you in Moscow in traditional judo tournament for police and army.
Отмечу, что инициатива проведения столь представительных состязаний находит все большую поддержку.
I'd like to point out that the initiative to have this very representative competition finds more and more support.
С каждым годом растет число команд, расширяется география стран участниц первенства.
Every year increase the number of teams and spreads the geography of participating countries.
И, конечно, вы заслужили высокий авторитет своими значимыми общественными, благотворительными инициативами, той большой работой, которую вы проводите по оказанию помощи семьям погибших военных товарищей.
And of course, you have got a high authority by big social mercenary initiative, by big job with your support to the families of dead comrades.
Нынешний турнир посвящен 90-летию Всероссийского физкультурного спортивного общества «Динамо».
The present tournament is devoted to the 90th anniversary of All Russian Physical Cultural Society Dinamo.
Поздравляю динамовцев с этим замечательным событием и юбилеем.
I would like to congratulate the members of Dinamo Society with this wonderful date.
Уверен, что красивые, зрелищные выступления единоборцев в новом, суперсовременном спорткомплексе Академии дзюдо станут настоящим событием для всех любителей спорта.
And I'm absolutely sure that the attractive, beautiful, spectacular sights of our sportsmen in new, super modern sport complex Academy of Judo will be a great event for all the sport fans.
Желаю участникам удачи и успеха, а болельщикам ярких незабываемых впечатлений.
Wish all the participants good luck and success, and to spectators bright impressions.
Президент Российской Федерации Владимир Владимирович Путин.
The President of Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
That's kind of the Russian Federation President, Mr. Putin, sent his greetings for this initiative, and of course to all the participants. Good initiative, which is also a social initiative by giving support to the families. And he congratulates the 19th anniversary of the Dinamo Society. He wishes that all the participants have a good memory and a good feeling with this event. Now we listen to
placed in
the Russian Federation president of the Judo Federation, I would say, Mr.
Как уже было сказано,
Anisimov.
что границы нашего турнира расширяются, все больше и больше стран участвуют в этом соревновании. И вы сегодня видели, точнее, праздник, который, к сожалению, для матерей погибших ребят, это был, как здесь было написано, мы всегда помним те события, которые происходят в нашей жизни.
And it was said that the geography of country participating is spread every year. More teams come to participate in this great tournament. And I would like also to point again this main verse, main device of our competitions. We remember people lost their lives on their main duty.
И мы хотели бы, чтобы с каждым годом границы расширялись, участников было больше, а всяких памятных поздравлений, извиняюсь, что важное событие, а то, что мы сегодня вручаем материал погибших, все было меньше.
And I would like to say that we are very interested to have more and more participants, more and more teams in our tournament. But of course, we would like to wish that it will be less people dying during every year, will be less lives put on their duty.
А участникам турнира я желаю хорошего настроения, побед и как можно больше радости. И всех поздравляю, кто здесь находится. Участник.
And I would like to congratulate again all the presents with this great sport event and to wish success and luck to everybody.
Слово предоставляется...
Vasily Anisimov, of course, is enjoying the fact that more and more participants and countries are participating. But of course, he wants more that there will be less death, people who die in the line of duty. It's his big wish.
Dear friends, I would like to greet again all the participants and all spectators coming here for our tournament. And our tournament is devoted to the 90th anniversary of Sport Society Dinamo. I would like to congratulate everybody with this very long anniversary.
Турнир среди полицианы занял достойное место в мировом спортивном календаре. И с каждым годом увеличится количество команд.
And this tournament takes its really strong position in the world sport calendar, and we have more and more teams coming to participate in our tournament.
Сегодня в Италии встретились 23 команды, представители силовой структуры из 15 стран мира.
And today we have 23 teams from 15 countries here in our judo tournament.
Исходя из опыта проведения нашего турнира, знаю, что сегодня развернется ярко, напряженная, красивая борьба за медаль. От всей души желаю спортсменам удачи.
And I hope that we will see very interesting and very strong fights in our final block. And I wish all the sportsmen very nice victories and very good struggle. Thank you very much.
Слово предоставляется Словечному Сергею Игоревичу.
The floor is
Now
taken
EU
by
President
the
Sergei
President of
Soloveichik.
the Judo Union, Mr. Sergei Soloveichik.
Дорогие друзья, от имени Европейского союза дзюдо и Международной федерации дзюдо я хочу приветствовать всех гостей и участников международного турнира по дзюдо среди полиции и армии.
Dear friends, from the name of European Judo Union and from the name of International Judo Federation, I would like to greet all the participators of International Judo Tournament for police and army.
Я благодарю дружную команду Национального союза дзюдо среди ветеранов за блестящую организацию турнира уже в 7-й раз.
And I'm really grateful for Organization Committee and National Judo Veteran Unions for the best organization of such sport event.
Международный турнир занимает особое место в календаре Европейского союза дзюдо, потому что как нельзя лучше отражает смысл нашего девиза «Дзюдо больше, чем спорт».
And this tournament really takes a special position in judo calendar, in European judo calendar. Judo Union. Judo more than sport.
От имени всех европейских дзюдоистов я выражаю глубокую признательность и сочувствие семьям сотрудников, погибших при исполнении служебного долга.
And from the name of all European Judo, I appreciate for all the organization committees and for all the people who lost their comrades in their special duties.
Международный турнир по дзюдо среди полиции и армии объявляется открытым.
And I would like to announce the International Judo Tournament for Police and Army to be opened.
Sergei Soloveichik opened the event, the International Judo Tournament for Police, Army and Other Forces. On behalf of the EGU and the IGF, he greets all the participants of the tournament, and he's grateful for this best organization of such sporting event. And I can confirm this. Of course, it's a special event in the EGU calendar. It's not just about the sports and about the medals. It is there because judo is more than sport. It's the European Judo Union motto. And of course, he pays his respect for those who lost their lives in the line of duty. We all do. And we're looking forward to the bronze medal fight coming up. We're going to choose for the match between the Belarus police versus the Azerbaijan tax service. We have some good judo for you. Okay, we're waiting for the boarding, tuning up the tatami. As mentioned before, the hall is completely full with public. The public is, yeah, we see it here. They're sitting really nice because the soldiers and they behave really good. Sure, but I hope they will cheer for their teams. Completely packed here in the same hall where also the Grand Slam of Moscow is held since last year. So in July it will be the second edition. Previously it was held in the Luzhniki Stadium, the Olympic Stadium, the Olympics venue of 1980 where the Olympics were held. Okay, more light in the hall. And more judo in the hall. Thank you for watching. You tuned in at edu.net, your favorite channel. I bet we have a lot of events. And if you like to see more events, at least the results, tune in into our calendar where we see the live results of the European Cup for cadets in Tver, also in Russia, or the European Cup for juniors in Thessaloniki, Greece. As mentioned, it's the 7th edition of this event, and last year it was won by the police of Russia in the final against the police of Italy. Third place for the police of Austria and the internal forces of Russia. So a lot of police power, and also behind me in the VIP tribunes where a lot of organizations, a lot of colonels of police are sitting and enjoying the judo, like the European Police Union as well as the World Police Union. It's a sort of gathering of all kinds of organizations here, and as mentioned before, if you just tuned in, it's interesting to know that all the ministries of, well, police, defense come together, 4 in total, and they have meetings to integrate judo much more into the development of police and army men. So that's a good development to make it obligatory. And nice story indeed. I mentioned it before, but if you just tuned in, it takes you 3 years to become an investigator for the police. but it takes you much longer to be a good judoka. But judo can help you if you are in the army or in the police in certain situations.
Нагадання приглашаются Замаков, запросовые витания. И выход в финал. Нагадание 1. Приглашается команда полиции Беларуси и команда налоговой полиции Азербайджана. На татами 3 приглашается команда Генеральной прокуратуры Российской Федерации и команда внутренних войск Российской Федерации.
We invite the professionals contest. Number 1, Police of Belarus Anti-Azerbaijan Police Services. Number 3, the Prosecutor Office of Russian Federation and Chief of Russian Internal Forces. Представляем судьи на татами 1, судьи международной категории. Марина Кузнецова, Василий Смолев, арбитр на татами Владимир Возриков, на татами 3, Славик Романский, Польша.
Okay, Vladimir Vostrikov, the referee, he was Olympic referee, he's asking the teams to the tatami. So, and we're going to witness the bronze medal fight, one of the two. And we choose for the police of Belarus fighting against the Azerbaijan tax service. All above 30 years. And the first match that we're going to see, because you may expect, okay, what do we see? We're going to see Vugar Budakov, he was double Azerbaijan champion, against Sergei Novikov. And Novikov is not the least. He was an Olympian in 2004 in Athens.
До 66 килограммов. На татами 1, Сергей Новиков, Беларусь, Vugar Budakov, Азербайджан. На татами 3, Сергей Гусев, Генеральная прокуратура России, Сергей Хованский, внутренние войска
So in the white,
Российской Федерации. На татами 1, спортсмен в белом кимоно, Сергей Новиков, Республика Беларусь, мастер спорта.
in the white we see Sergei Novikov. He seems to be the favorite in this match against Vugar Budakov.
Синим кимоно.
And Novikov, as mentioned, he's an Olympian and he participated at many world championships and European championships in his career.
2011 года.
Always under 60 and in his last years under 66 kilograms from Belarus.
На татами 3 борется в белом кимоно Сергей Гусев.
And all refereed by Olympian Vladimir Vostrikov.
Чемпион Центрального федерального округа. В синем кимоно команда внутренних войск Российской Федерации.
Meanwhile, I'll keep you up to date with the other tatami, which is the other bronze medal match between the prosecutor's office and the Russian internal force. 5 matches, as usual, starting with the under 66 kilograms. No difference so far. And in blue, Vugar Budakov, double Azerbaijan champion in the early beginning of this decennium. Actually, in the previous decennium, I must say, 2003, 2004. Sergei Novikov, he's a little bit taller. Tries this combination. But maybe it can be an advantage as well here for the shorter Budakov. And he scores a Judo. So opening for Budakov, unexpectedly. Was just mentioning it could also be an advantage to be a little bit smaller. Now it's up to Novikov. Novikov, as they call him in Belarus. 40 seconds to go. Well, it's an unexpected backdraft for the guys from Belarus. Always nice, eh? Team event. It's much more spectacular if it comes to a team effort. And Budakov is leading. Equal again. Both Judo, and just 5 seconds before the end. But there must be a decision also in a team event. In the past it was always Hikibake, but now it's a golden score for 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Yeah, and as mentioned before, the guys are all 30 years, at least. I think Budakov is 34, and Novikov I have to check. Also of that age. And that means that they don't have to adjust to the new rules, that is for the seniors. The match goes to Budakov. Little advance in the first seconds of the golden score. So the Azerbaijani are leading. And now it's up to Samir Fatiliev to keep that distance or make it even bigger. 2-0. He will fight against Sergei Zidan from Belarus. Sergei Zidan has a little bit more reputation in his career. He usually fought under 73 kilograms. He was active in the seniors. Although he was quite a good junior. He was second at the European Championships once. In 1999 to be exactly. Under 66 kilograms in that period. Where he lost to Benjamin Darbelet. Well, we know Darbelet, he made it to the Olympic final, if I'm not wrong. Well, five times World Championships participant and in the Olympic final of Beijing. So we know how to deal with tough guys. So in a way, also on paper, the Belarus guy is a little bit more in favor. Sergei Zidan. But yeah, that was the same situation in the other match. Let's see what Fataliev can do. Azerbaijan is leading. On the other tatami, the other match for bronze, it's the Russian Internal Forces who lead by 1-0. So the old rules apply here. Of course, this event differs from the real events and the sporting agenda of the EGU. It's also more a social event. And now they're trying to develop also judo for women in the army and the police. That has not been developed so well. It differs per country. Some countries introduced the women in the army or police forces much earlier. And of course there are also world championships for seniors in the police category. Last year it was held in Kazan. It's once every 4 years. But there are some good judokas under the police. And one of them is Rok Dracic. He's the world champion for police. But maybe you also know Robert Mesvidobadze under 60 kilograms. One of the better Russian judoka in this category. 10 seconds to go and it's Zidane leading, so it could be 1-1. And it is 1-1. Just to mention some famous policemen and world champions. Robert Mesvidobadze, Rok Dracic, Murat Kabahirov, now fighting under 81 kilograms and he's doing well. Also Kamil Magomedov, Sergei Samolovic, well, he's in the top 5 of the under 100 kilogram world class in this moment in the world ranking. And in the women's category, Petra Narex, well-known name. Hungary is always very strong. And also world champion was Claudia Zwies of the Netherlands. Also she made it with an Olympic medal in Atlanta 1996, so still going strong under the police forces. Okay, next match, the third match. Who will take the lead? Alexander Azolin of Belarus against Shahin Arzimov. So you can see they can hold a little bit longer and stand with stretched arms. It's not immediately penalized as the old rules apply. And you see the tribunes completely full with military staff. And they're enjoying judo. Oh. He puts in a attempt by Arzimanov. The other tatami, it's the Russian Internal Force, take a 2-0 lead by a victory for Alexander Karkanov against Dmitry Nekayev. So it looks like we'll see them on stage, the title holder of 2012, the Russian Internal Forces. Halfway the match, 1.5 minutes to go. between Azolin and Arzimanov of Azerbaijan. Two fighters, Belarus, Azerbaijan. In this moment in Azerbaijan, in this category under 81 kilograms, it's Tural Savguliev, who won the European Open in Tbilisi this year. So they have some strong fighters, of course. And Azerbaijan is now coached by Peter Zeisenbacher, who moved from Georgia to Azerbaijan. And in this category under 81 kilograms in Belarus, they have, of course, Alexander Stashenko, very strong judoka. This year he was 5th in Düsseldorf at the Grand Prix. But it's an injury now for Arzimanov. That gives a little break to Azolin. Okay, on the other tatami, it is now the Russian internal forces who forced literally a 3-0 lead. So they'll take the bronze. Takes a long time, this injury, so let's have a look at the other tatami. It's a 3-0 lead for the Russian internal forces. In white we see Arambi Kalashov. They are of the prosecutor's office of Russia. And he fights against Andrei Motorkin, but he can be relaxed. He's in the lead for 3-0. So you're completely updated on this match. Let's go back to the other tatami, where Azimanov Shahin is already back. Here we go. They just started, 30 seconds to go. It's still equal, also in the team score, 1-1. Little eyebrow injury. Yeah, those things can take a little longer. And they open easily. So let's hope he doesn't get any confrontation with the fist of Azolin. Okay, golden score. The Azerbaijan tax services, they defeated in their first match the Russian prison servants. Second match against the police of Germany. And then they defeated the police of Kyrgyzstan. 15 nations participating in total now. Not so bad. But they lost the semi-final against the police of Japan, and therefore they came into the repechage here for bronze against the police of Belarus. And they lost in the quarterfinals to the police of Russia, also in the final. So both met the finalists. Now he's still struggling with the eyebrow. Now he gets one penalty, so it's equal again. But as we use the old rules, we just proceed with the last 17 seconds. It's not decided when there is a penalty immediately. Nice, all these teammates giving the last spirit for the last 12 seconds. But there's still no decision. Ah. Okay, I wonder what decision will be made here in the Hantai situation. Arzimanov seemed to be a little bit more active, but it's a hard one. And that is the difference with the new rules. Then you score immediately if you have a penalty. White. So Belarus is leading. Azolin takes the victory. We visited the other tatami very shortly, and we've seen Arambi Kalashov against Andrei Motorkin. It was Kalashov who did something back for the prosecutor's office of Russia, and it's now 3-1. At this tatami, Belarus is leading, and the policeman can now take it over and make it 3-1. When Mikolai Barkowski is on the tatami against Elman Jafarov. Maybe you know Barkowski, especially for the guys under 81 kilogram. I know this is the category under 90, but he was the European bronze medalist in Lisbon in 2008 at the European Senior Championships. And he won a few World Cup medals. But in 2008 was his highlight. I remember that day. Gianetto won the final against Guillaume Elmont, with Barkowski and Madaloni on the stage. So Barkowski is the one in white with a better reputation. Jafarov definitely differs, well, 15 centimeters. It's a big difference. But we've seen it in the first match. It doesn't make the decision, because in the first match it was the smaller Budagov who defeated Novikau. Mate. Yeah, and this is an advantage, of course. The grip on the back now, and you can hold this grip. Of course, it's the old rules. Yeah, I gotta get used to it. We completely adjusted to the new rules. regarding these new rules, of course, after the World Championships, there may be some changes. We don't know yet. That will be decided at the World Championships. And then we'll see. But it's not easy for the referees as well. They have to continuously adjust. But so far it has a good effect. Many scores, also many penalties, because penalties are awarded very soon. Now the second penalty for Javarov, which gives the lead to Barkowski. He can take it easy now for 1 minute. He doesn't do it. Good recipe. Stay offensive. Meanwhile, 4-1 for the Russian Internal Forces, the winner of last year. And 46 seconds to go in this match. Barkowski. Well, he can be a little bit more defensive, and it is Javarov who now has to attack. Not easy for this small guy from Azerbaijan. Yeah, this is recognizable, this kind of semi-throw, and this is what we didn't want to see, and that's why the changes were applied after the Olympic Games. Because he can defend himself for the last seconds to the victory and to the bronze medal. Another attack, but he knows it's not a good attack. He's trying to make a strangle. Yeah, defensive on the ground. Well done, Barkowski. And it's the police of Belarus who take the bronze medal. Last year it didn't work out. They lost in the quarterfinals. But now they took the bronze. Okay, in the category plus 90 kilograms is Anton Novik. Usually fought under 90 kilograms in his career. He participated at the European Championships, let's say 9 years ago in Bucharest. Under 90 kilograms is Anton Novik in white. But he has a good opponent. Zaur Bagirov from Azerbaijan. Although the match is not so important anymore, it's just for the statistics. But Bagirov was a double Azerbaijan champion. And he participated at a few World Cups. He won a medal in Baku. He's a little bit heavier. In his career he also fought in the plus category. Oh, that's a great takeover by Novik. He anticipated really good to the attack of Bagirov. Well done by Novik. Mistake, because he completely opened his defense, and it was Novik who anticipated greatly, taking over the attack of Bagirov. So, 4-1 for the Police of Belarus and the bronze medal.
Big profession.
Bronze medal for the Police of Belarus against Azerbaijan Tech Services. They did well. It's not easy. 23 teams from 15 nations. And they're quite tough guys. A lot of interest from all the forces. Many army soldiers in the tribunes. So we're looking forward to the final. You see the hall here is well decorated. If you tuned in later. This is the international judo tournament for police, army and other forces, held in the great new hall in Zvenigorod, 60 kilometers away from Moscow. The event started 7 years ago, and it was also to pay attention for those families of more than 400 law enforcement officers who killed in the line of duty. So the tradition continues, and we continue with the final. It's going to be interesting. I wonder what the Japanese can do. It's the police of Japan and the police of Russia will fight here in the final. Oh, this can be nice. There are some good Japanese on the tatami. But the police of Russia, they're also very strong. They send in Denis Pavlov for the first match. And Pavlov knows how to deal with the Japanese. He also fought in the Jigarao Kano Cup, which is now the Grand Slam of Tokyo. Very good junior. When he was, well, let's say between 18 and 22. But never got his breakthrough internationally, although he participated in the big events. Okay, Denis Pavlov in white. And he fights Kengo Mimura. I cannot say that he's a weak guy, but he doesn't have the reputation. And Pavlov does have it, but they have some more strong other Japanese to come. Let's see, 3 minutes to go. In this category, under 66 kilograms. And the police of Russia, they defeated the Russian internal forces, who just quite easily won the bronze medal. So that says something about the police of Russia. Also, they defeated the police of Belarus, who just won the bronze. So they may be in favor. Although we don't know really the strength of the Japanese, but later on we'll see Yuji Sonoda and Yuki Yoshida. They're quite good judoka on paper. I don't know what they can do now. This hall was opened by Vladimir Putin in May last year. And on behalf of Vladimir Putin, who sent his regards to all the participants. And also he said it was a social initiative and he likes that, to support those families. And he congratulated the Dynamo Society, the 19th anniversary. And he thanked the organization for this event and this initiative, which started 7 years ago. And now we're in the final of the 7th edition. Nothing's decided, 0-0. But Mimura got one penalty. And of course, because of the old rules, those penalty calculate and they really do something for the score, the contrary of the new rules. Only in a Hansukumake situation if you have 4 penalties. And this hall is a part of the Judo Academy, where there are really good facilities for all the athletes, and of course also the Russian athletes. They prepared here for the Olympic Games in London, which were so successful for Russia, taking 3 gold medals. Galstian, Isayev and Kaibulaev. And then there was silver for Mikhailin and bronze for Nifontov. Absolutely successful, trained, coached by Ezio Gamba, who's now also doing the women of Russia. But of course he doesn't coach them, he's the coordinator of the managers. Okay, a little discussion, what is about to happen. Vladimir Nitka is the referee. Yuko for Japan. Mimura's leading. Now it's up to Pavlov in the last 55 seconds. Mimura remains very active. That's good. Yep. No score. Mate. Second attempt. No score, but it helps in the time. 6 seconds to go and a comfortable lead for Mimura and for the police of Japan.
From the International Mimura, Union, it goes to Mimura, Japan. Он приглашен через весовые 73 килограмм.
One very famous policeman was Kazuhiko Takuno. He was second at the World Championships in Birmingham in 1999. From Japan as well. Now Yuki Yoshida, can he make the difference? 2-0. He did fight in Europe in his time when he was still active in the seniors. Won a World Cup medal in Vienna. Marat Kazumov is his opponent in white. Now Sutami and Vasari score for the Japanese. Yoshida leading. Well, knowing that Yuji Sonoda is about to arrive to the tatami in the next match, they really lead comfortably. Sonoda is really good judoka, now fighting on the 81 then, in his career on the 73. As mentioned before, all the guys are sort of veterans. I shouldn't say veterans in a way, but there are plus 30, still young guys, still fit. Oy. Mate Kazumov tried to strangle Yoshida, but he didn't have a real grip under his chin. Mate. 1 minute to go for Yoshida. So it's up to Sidakov now to do something in the last minute. Yes, this is the one, Ippon. Clear victory for Yuki Yoshida. He was always trying to find the gap, and this was it. Well done. So Vasari ended Ippon. So we may see a Japanese winner here in Moscow. Good victory. Okay, now we're going to see Yuji Sonoda, and he has some good experience and memories to Moscow. He won a bronze medal at the Super World Cup in Moscow in that time, which is now the, of course, the Grand Slam of Moscow, held here in Zvenigorod in the new hall. 2005 it was when he won a bronze medal in under 73 kilograms. He's a bit heavier now, 81 kilograms. Participated a few times at the Japanese championships, obviously, and won a few medals. So, what can the Russians do, Azamat Sidakov? He's quite used to fighting in this category, under 81 kilograms. and he retired quite recently. He's still young, 30 years. That's exactly the age, the minimum age here. One time he was a Russian champion in 2008, not so long ago. Mate by the Polish referee, Kownacki. Sidakov trying to snatch him on the ground, but Sonoda's keen. Mate is at least 10 centimeters different. And Sonoda's really trying to dive under Sidakov. Sidakov is now leading because of this second penalty. Combination, but a good takeover by Sidakov. No score. That was good. Good warning for Sonoda. He knows he has to work now because of those two penalties. But I think Sidakov will do it and make the connection. 2-1. This is only good for him. Working on the ground. Good victory for Azamat Sidakov. But as mentioned before, he only retired last year, so he's still quite fit. And in 2011 he still won a World Cup medal, so he's a good fighter and he defeats Sonoda. Good judoka, but Sidakov is too fit. Had a good takeover, but was no score. So the Russians are back in the match, 2-1. So I wonder what will happen now with Vladislav Filin. He gained a little bit of weight because usually he fights under 81 kilograms. Even recently, in 2012. He's now 32 years. So can Filin get back against Nobuhisa Nojima? Could be a decisive match, of course, if Nojima takes the score. Five categories, and of course we hope that the Judo Olympic team event will be added. So we have 14 events already, and with 2 team events it will be really a great addition. It's good to see. There was already an Olympic team event in the Youth Olympic Games in Singapore, and that was really well done. Nice environment, especially when the kids under 17, they get really crazy if they're on the tatami. And that set a sort of mindset in the IOC that they think, okay, this is an interesting event. Of course, that will change the team events in total in the world. And you see it already in the forthcoming European Championships in Budapest. Some teams are really anticipating and think, okay, this might be interesting. Let's participate. So we have quite many teams already registered for the European Championships in Budapest for seniors. It will be held on Sunday for both men and women. Injury in the nails for the Russian Filin. As mentioned before, many VIPs here, like ministers, they take this opportunity to speak to each other and trying to see if there's any possibility to make judo obligatory for all the ministries. So the ministers present, they stick together and they had a meeting about that to integrate judo even more. In Russia now it's 2 times per week, 2 hours on the tatami. And they at least have to study it for 5 years, judo. Yeah, and that's only the beginning. If all goes well, judo is in the blood. And our motto of the European Judo Union is judo more than sport. And this is the event which is typical for this motto, more than sport. Because this is not just about judo, but also to remember those who died in the line of duty and to pay respect to their families and to give them financial support. That's what we've seen. If you didn't see it, it was a great show of singers, dancers, etc. But here we are back on the tatami with Filin fighting against Nojima. The Japanese police, they lead 2-1. Now the second penalty, so that makes it interesting because if all things stay as they are, then Russia is back in the match, 2-2. So it doesn't surprise me that now Filin is trying to snatch him on the ground. But of course the Polish referee limits the time on the ground. He also sees that it has no opportunity for the Russian Filin. Ten seconds to go. Of course, this is what we can expect. The fight on the ground by Filin. Oh, almost he controlled him. But it's not necessary anymore. He takes the victory and brings back Russia into the match, 2-2. So the last fight is the decisive fight, and that can be interesting with Buchukuri, Timur Buchukuri. Maybe you know his name, but he's quite experienced. Yeah, and there's a nice story behind this Timur Buchikuri. He will fight Yuta Kanzawa, and Buchikuri is the one with the reputation, and he has a reputation. That is the story. He was here in the Grand Slam, which is now the Grand Slam, or it used to be the Grand Prix and the Super World Cup. He lost the final 3 times. So what he will do in this final? I think he's obliged to win here for the public. He's the bigger one, but it doesn't make a difference, not often, against a Japanese fighter. But there are higher expectations for Buchikuri in this match. The final match, who will take the gold in this international judo tournament for police, army and other forces. It's in his hands. He really fought with the best in his age category. He's now 34, something like that. 35. And he fought with guys like Munteanu of Romania, Wojnarowicz, Tataroglu, Van der Geest, Tsismadia, El-Shahabi. So he knows how to deal with him. Zvia de Uri, Muller, Dreyfus. Now, those guys, they can battle something. Now can Buchikuri battle against Kanzawa. 2 minutes to go. Who will take the gold? Oh, it will be spectacular if the Russians come back after a 2-0 backdraft. And getting back to this possible gold member. It's glancing, it's ready. And it's in the hands of Buchikuri. He's leading now because of the penalties for Kanzawa. Mate outside the tatami. This guy in white. Another penalty. Oh, yeah, it's tough. Vasari for Buchikuri. And as mentioned, he defeated guys like Wojnarowicz, world class. Munteanu. This should be possible in the last minute if you lead by Vasari, to give the gold to the Russian police. This big guy. He doesn't have to throw. In a way, he can take it easy. And Kanzawa doesn't believe it. All these 3 penalties that he got, he's, well, fighting with a smile, but he cannot believe it. Oh, here he comes back. No, no point, no score. Well defended by Buchikuri. At least it's an exciting final of these 5 matches. First 0-2 and now maybe 3-2 decision. In 1 minute we know more. He's trying the best he can. Yuta Kanzawa. Penalty for Buchikuri. We could have expected that. But he can have another 2. Tries to make a combination. Yeah, I would stand up. It's a fact. The Police of Russia takes the gold medal here at the International Judo Tournament for police, army and other forces. Thanks to the team. Timur Buchikuri, he takes the last victory. He had gold in his hands and he takes it. We see the coach here in the background. Well done. So, the gold remains in Russia. There was a good chance that it would go to Japan in the first, after 2 matches. Last year it was the Police of Russia, and this year they have successfully defended their titles. For the second time in a row is the Russian police taking the gold medal. Great. Thank you for watching this event. We're going to see a lot more show. And of course the awarding ceremonies with the hot shots from Judo at the stage. Just keep watching. And if you want to get back later on, you can meanwhile watch to the intermediate results of the tournaments of the European Cup in Tver for cadets and juniors in Thessaloniki. You can all follow it on the website eju.net. Congratulations for the Police of Russia by the Police of Japan. Successful tournament. A lot of teams in this event, and each year it is growing in importance. In the past it was a European Open Championship. Now it is really a tournament for all forces. And the Police of Russia, they were too strong in the first round against the Ukrainians, the Police of Belarus and the Russian Internal Forces. They took the bronze, as well as the Azerbaijan Tech Services and the Police of Japan. A nice, good silver medal. And they had a really good outlook after the first 2 matches, but in the end it was Sidakov, Filin and Buchikuri taking the victories. Thank you for now. We're going to watch at the medal ceremonies. Join us for a few moments. Thank you very much for watching. Hans van Essen, on behalf of DHU, signing off. See you in the next occasion, and that will be soon. European Championships expected in Budapest with a live coverage. And in between you can see a lot of other results this weekend and next weekend, also European Cup weekend. Thank you very much. One more time we say goodbye here from Zvenigorod in the new hall opened by Mr. President Putin. Thank you very much, and looking forward to host you by me, Sheldon Brooks or Loretta Doyle from the tatami live. Bye bye.
Гости турнира. С каждым годом дзюдо становится все более популярным в России. Успехи наших атлетов на мировой арене вдохновляют на новые победы. В 2014 году состоится знаменательное для всех любителей спорта событие. Чемпионат мира по дзюдо впервые примет Челябинск. серебряные награды международного турнира дзюдо среди полиции и армии завоевала команда полиции Японии. Церемонию награждения проводит президент Федерации дзюдо России Анисимов Василий Васильевич, заместитель секретаря Совета безопасности Российской Федерации, председатель Учительского совета общества «Динамо» Бургалеев Мужик Кумарович, вице-президент Европейского союза дзюдо, президент Федерации дзюдо Австрии Кучера Спол.
The second place and the silver medals goes to this team of police of Japan. They were ceremony held by Vasily Yeltsin, President of the Russian Federation. Mr. Rashid Nuraliyev, the Chairman Deputy of the Security Council, Chairman of the Economic Society Advisory Board. And Dr. Haspal Kuchera, Vice President of European Judo Union, President of Austrian Judo Federation.
Команда награждается медалями, дипломами и памятными кубками. И победителем международного турнира дзюдо среди полиции и армии, посвященный 90-летию спортивного общества «Динамо», становится команда полиции России. Церемонию проводит министр культуры Российской Федерации Колокольцев Владимир Александрович, президент Национального союза ветеранов дзюдо Пальский Павел Григорьевич, президент Европейского союза дзюдо Соловейчик Сергей Игоревич.
And the winners and gold medalists of the National Judo Tournament for Army and Police, a team of Police of Russian Federation. The awarding ceremony is held by Mr. Vladimir Kolokольцев, the Minister of Internal Affairs of Russian Federation, Mr. Sergei Smanichik, the President of European Judo Union, and Mr. Pavel Vasily, the President of the National Veterans Judo Union.
Россия.
And now, the national anthem of Russia.
Команда Дорогие друзья, спасибо всем вам за то, что пришли на сегодняшний турнир. И до новых встреч!